Hi, this is Shadi, and today we will go back to the octagon together for an octagon analysis with a great and talented rising star, Zabit Magomedsharipov, a Dagestani fighter with swift and quick striking and also phenomenal and formidable grappling. In my opinion, makes him a complete fighter. His body frame also helps him, the way he is structured, and also his swiftness and just overall perseverance in training. And the octagon makes him, in my opinion, an incredible and complete fighter. There's just so much to see from him in the future, and very similar to all the Dagestanis, you can see and expect a lot of formidable grappling, and it's just so entertaining to watch. But his striking, in particular, is very incredible in my opinion. Dagestanis are known for their grappling, but his striking is just something else. Today we're gonna see his judo moveset, and the first one is, in my opinion, a mix of kubinage and harai goshi. You see the upper body control is of harai goshi, but on the lower part there's no sweeping blow, thus not making it a harai goshi. The upper body is underhooks and overhooks, like I said, similar to a harai goshi, but the leg placement and how he utilizes it in that particular throw was that of kubinage in my opinion. So it's a hybrid throw. In case you see something else, let me know down below, but in my opinion it's a hybrid of both kubinage, the neck throw, but he's not particularly wrapping the neck, so it's not kubi in particular. He had the underhook and the overhook, but the lower body, which I'll show later, is that similar to a kubinage. So it was just like a roll and just rolling him down, putting his leg in order to block him. Not that much of use of hips also, so it's a very intriguing throw in my opinion. If you have anything else to add, like I said, let me know down below. I put this one first because I found it so intriguing. It is a hybrid indeed. So let's see the kubinage. You need to wrap around the neck and put your leg almost like a taiotoshi, and this is what he did in the lower body part, but upper body it was an overhook and an underhook, making it a hybrid throw, but nonetheless very impressive and very interesting. You have an upper body working something, but the lower body working something else. So the next one is your classic osotogari, the major outer reap. Just grabbing the arm was more than enough and just reaping away with the leg in order to establish or start engaging in newaza or ground work. So here you can see osotogari, a white belt technique in judo. You have to step outside, use your hands in order to destabilize and create kuzushi and reap away with the legs. Here you can see like combinations of harai tsuri komiyashi, the one that Islam Makhachev does, and completing with osotogari. Again, a classical piece of judo nagewaza or throwing technique. Here you can see you can grab the belt from behind and the sleeve and just reap away with osotogari. There's many entries to it. You can just use the wrist, you can use the belt from behind or from the front, but in the case of MMA you either do like a overhook, underhook, or just like Zabit, just grab one arm and use it in order to destabilize. Here you can do with both hands. A very interesting one here is none other than the ura nage, or the body lock takedown in wrestling. Of course he has a wrestling background for sure. Here you can see ura nage in nage no kata, someone striking, you can just squat down, grab, and just with the power of the waist and the arms, just sacrificing yourself backwards and creating it. Again, Dagestanis, Georgia, or the Russians, whatever you want to call, all the people from that area are particularly strong grapplers and use that in their wrestling background and also in judo in order to create those beautiful ippons. Like I said, the Russians and the Georgians in particular, and Zabit is technically Russian since Dagestan as part of Russia, the Russian Federation. So it is no surprise that he would utilize such great and monumental throw like the uranage. Here you can see taking the back, wrapping the rear naked choke, the HADAKA JIME. The HADAKA JIME is technically, or when it comes to terminology, it is naked choke, so it can be anything. You can lock it from the front. The naked part is that there's no use of the gi, hence it is a naked choke. Here you can see the traditional that we see in Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. You can get it from almost any position. Even the guillotine choke is technically considered a HADAKA JIME if you are choking and not cranking the neck. Again, a classical piece. Here you can see the guillotine choke, again considered a HADAKA JIME. But for those of you who don't know, it is still legal in Judo, but only from mount, because in guard people might do like a front headlock standing and then pull guard and do it, which is not very Ippon Judo like, so they only allow it from the mount position. Here you can see the Hungarian trying to establish mount in order to lock it and getting the tap. It is still considered HADAKA JIME, a naked choke, no use for the gi whatsoever. This is 2019. So here a Taiotoshi. Ronda Rousey is particularly swift with the Taiotoshi, and here you can see Zabit performing it. Taiotoshi, it's a body drop, in case you didn't know what it means. It's a body drop. It's a teiwaza, or a hand technique where you use your leg as blockage, but you destabilize and unbalance with your arms, hurling them over your leg. Thus it's a teiwaza, but I would argue it's a mix of ashiwaza and teiwaza. Kind of like Osoto Otoshi. Osoto Otoshi is considered a leg technique, but it has the similar mechanisms of Taiotoshi, where you drop with your arm, you use your arms in order to unbalance them and drop them, but your leg work as like a barrier in order to create the throw with the arms. So in my opinion, it's a hybrid of ashiwaza and also teiwaza. There's also here the Kouchigari. We saw Khabib do it. Let's see it again. Here he lifts the leg and reaps away from the inside. It's a minor inner reap or minor inner sweep, if you want to call it that. Again, a classical piece of judo. Here you can do it in a hopping variation, the Kouchigari. In my opinion, it's one of my favorite techniques as well. I really like this technique. It comes out of nowhere from the inside, but the disadvantage is that you might land in the guard, but you can still do a knee cut since your waist is somewhat turned. Here you can reap away, but again, you have to be careful because you might give your back and also land in their guard. But you can do a variation where you complete the rotation fully here, like you see here, in order to pass the guard. So like I said, there's an answer to everything. You just have to be very careful in terms of execution. Here that's a kubinage in my opinion. Here he does an armbar in case you missed it. Let's see again the kubinage. Here the armbar from the guard. Again, a classical piece of judo. He hurls them down over, flips them and reverses them, very similar to Zabit. So like I said, a complete fighter in my opinion, with swift striking, especially that kick over the cage in order to land a spinning kick. In my opinion, he is a very known for it. Here, and this submission, I don't even know what the hell that is. If someone knows anything about that submission, did he invent it, did he talk about it, let me know down below. Again, phenomenal striking coupled with good grappling, you can create the perfect fighter. And notice he doesn't need to use leg locks. He can pretty much control anyone using just the upper body. Again, a formidable grappler, MMA fighter, and just striker. He can compete in any field just alone, and he would create incredible results. Notice how tall, or I'm sorry, how long his limbs are. He is very tall in my opinion, and just he has everything to make him a complete fighter. Here, this is what I was talking about. So if you have anything else to add about Zabit or another suggestion for octagon analysis, let me know down below. I might be doing Kron Gracie soon, a very simple but a very effective fighter in the octagon using classical pieces of judo as well. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.